Hello everyone, it's Miss Dilly and we're going to be talking on algebra for today's maths, and we're going to generally discuss all the process of algebra. Now we have about 4 processes and one has 2 processes under it. We're going to be discussing these processes. So let's go on to our first process, which will be substitution. Substitution simply means taking a value and putting it in a coefficient. Now let's look at this example. You have 3x plus 2 and you are asked to do a substitution. So peradventure x is 1, you will have 3 times 1 plus 2, which will give us 5. Yeah, the value of an expression changes with the different value of the coefficient. The coefficient here becomes x. Now, if x is 10, this is what we will get. 3 times 10 plus 2, which will be 32. I hope this is very simple and easy for you to understand. Let's also go to the next topic, which is equations. As I said earlier on, we have equation has 2 types. We have the linear equations, that's when the calculations are done using the 4 basic operations. So for example, you have 5 brackets 2x minus 9 bracket close 14. What you do is, first of all, multiply what is in the bracket by 5. So 5 times 2 will give you 10x. 5 times minus 9 will give you minus 45 equals to 14. So now that we have it like that, the next thing you do is take 45 over the equals to sign. And you know that when you move anything over the equals to sign, the sign following it or attached to it changes. So the minus 45 will change to plus 45. So we have 10x equals to 59. Now divide both sides by the coefficient n. So x will be equals to 5.9. Simple, right? Yeah, that is the basic algebra we have been doing. So now let's go to the equations. Now the next type under equation is the simultaneous equation. Now this is done when 2 algebraic expressions are given and the equations have the same magnitude, which means one value is the same. Now the simple thing to do is to subtract one equation from the other, which is usually the smaller one taken from the bigger one. So for example, we have 6x plus y is equals to 15, and we also have 4x plus y is equals to 11. You subtract 4x plus y equals to 11 from 6x plus y equals to 15. So 6x minus 4x will give you 2. Y minus y, of course, it will give you 0. There's nothing there. Then 15 minus 11 will give you 4. So therefore, you can divide both sides by the coefficient, which is 2, and you get to know that x is equals to 2. This is very simple. This is just only needs your everyday logic and reasoning for you not to just see a question and say, oh my god, there are 2 expressions, I'm so scared, how can I solve 2 at the same time? No, simply subtract one from the other, then whatever remains, divide the coefficient. Now we are talking about expansion. Expansion is just multiplication of terms in one or more brackets to make it a little bit longer. Now example, we have 4x minus 5 in brackets, then another bracket 3x minus 1. Now remember that in between the 2 brackets there is no sign, so that means you have to just multiply the one in the first bracket by the one in the second bracket. So we have 4x times 3x will give us 12x. 4x times minus 1 will give us minus 4x. Minus 5 times 3x will give us minus 15x. Minus 5 times 1 will give us plus 5, because minus times minus will give us plus. Don't forget that rule. So what you do is that the like terms in the middle, which is minus 4x and minus 15x, you solve them together. Now when you have minus together, you add it up, but the value still maintains its negative sign. I hope you remember that law. We have treated it, I think first term we treated it. Now you will get 12x raised to power 2 minus 19, because you added 4x and 15x plus 5. So I repeat, you have 12x raised to power 2 minus 19x plus 5. Now let's talk about inequalities. Now this behaves like our normal linear equation. The only difference is that they have an equality sign equals to instead of an equality 1. So anything you are crossing over the inequality sign will maintain the normal rule of the value changing. Now we have this example of 5x plus 7 all over 3 less than 14. Collect like terms first by moving 3 to 14. Now the division sign must change to multiplication sign, right? So you have 5x plus 7 less than 14 times 3. Now 14 times 3 will give you 42. So you have 5x plus 7 less than 42. Collect the like terms by moving 17 to the 14 position. Or rather, let me say the former 14 position, which is now 42. So the 7th sign become negative. So you have 5x less than 42 minus 7, which will give us 35 if you subtract it. So we have 5x is equals to 35. The simple thing left to do is to divide both sides by the coefficient, which is 5. So you have x equals to 7. Good. Now we are done with all the processes of algebra. I hope you understand it. I hope it's simple. I hope you will not have issues when you see some equations given to you. Have a nice day. Stay blessed. Bye.